All right, we have another why question. Why is it that when you subtract a negative, you really end up adding? So for example, what do I mean by that? 10 minus a negative 3 really is going to be 10 plus 3, which is 13. Now, why is this? Some students will say, all right, take away a negative. Really what I'm saying is give me the opposite of negative 3, which is positive 3. And that's okay. But are there more conceptual ways to think about it? How about this example? We've got a cup of water. Okay, we've got cold cubes will represent a negative temperature. Okay, hot cubes will represent a positive temperature. So what happens if I take away a cold cube? I'm taking away a negative, and my temperature will actually increase. All right, do you see how that works? So that's kind of a cool way to think about how taking away a negative actually kind of becomes a positive. All right, how about this one? I really like this one. Each balloon will represent a positive unit, and each weight that's put into the basket down here would represent a negative unit. Okay, the balloons, the positives, make this whole balloon thing rise up into the sky and increases the height. And the weights are the negatives. They will weigh it down and decrease the height, okay? But if I took away a negative, take away a weight, which is like subtracting a negative, we will see that that height will increase. I think this is fantastic. This is a very interesting way of thinking about this. Another idea would be taking away one's debt. If you took away my debt, then my overall net worth would be higher. So as a teacher, you do have an opportunity, perhaps if you're working in a public school, to have a loan forgiveness program. So after a certain amount of payments on time, your loan in theory will be forgiven, I'm hoping. And that would be an example of taking away a negative, and then you are actually richer. Your net worth goes up. All right, here are some manipulatives. I have 4 green units, and we're going to say they're just 4 positive units. And let's just, I'm sure you could wrap your head around this. What if I just said 4 take away 2? Okay, I've got manipulatives, I've got 4 units. What happens when I take away 2? Very simple, I'm left with 2. The answer is 2. But what if I wanted to do some negatives? What if I want to introduce negative manipulatives? What if I wanted to do 4 take away a negative 2? 4 take away a negative 2. What would that look like? All right, in order to do this, we are going to introduce some negative units with the manipulatives. We're going to say now, we already said that the green units are positive units. Now we're going to introduce some negative units. The red will be negative, all right? So in order to take away a negative 2, I need to build a representation of 4 that looks like this, okay? Now, I have 4 regular green units here, okay? And then I have over here, I have a positive 1 and a negative 1, which really cancels out to 0, okay? Here I have a positive 1 and a negative 1, which really, again, cancels out to be 0. So this actually represents 0 units, okay? But I need it because I need to take these away eventually, okay? And then, so this whole representation is really representing positive 4 because these really represent 0, okay? And then I've got 4 regular positive units here. Okay, now what am I going to do? I'm going to execute the problem I'm trying to do. 4 take away negative 2. So this whole thing is 4, remember? And now I take away my negative 2. And how many are remaining? I have 6. So what you see here, 4 take away a negative 2, gets me positive 6. It's really like saying 4 plus 2 is 6. So I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, hit the like button and hit subscribe. Thank you.